Today I am talking about something very exciting. I have the Lorac Pro 2 palette in my life right now, and I have been using it maybe about 2 or 3 times already, and this is my first Lorac eyeshadow palette, or product ever actually, and oh my god, this thing is amazing and I cannot believe it took this long to come into my life. Today is gonna be a little review. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep it short, but no promises, okay? And I'm also gonna show you how I created this eye look with this particular palette. First things first, let's talk about the application of this eyeshadow. It's really easy to blend and create any eye look with this. I would have to compare it to the Urban Decay eyeshadows, which do not blend as well as these ones, I think. I mean, that's just my opinion. So I really enjoy playing around with these actually a lot more than the Urban Decay palette, for the reason because it's just a lot easier to blend and you know, work the transitions in between shades. Talking about staying power, these will stay pretty much all day when I use an eyeshadow primer. I don't really leave out the eyeshadow primer step from my you know, makeup application, so I can't really compare, but I will show you a swatch with and without the primer. So to my right side, this swatch, it's kind of awkwardly swatched, but that is the color Cool Gray, and I put some eyeshadow primer underneath it so you could see that. I think on camera it shows up a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more evenly applied, whereas the one to my left, this one, turns out it kind of has more of like a smokier look, and it's less pigmented and a little bit more of an uneven application, but either way it still looks good. It's just that if you're trying to go for more of a like not harsher, but more pigmented look, you would definitely want to use a primer. Obviously the primer will help, so definitely primer will help with staying power and it will last all day. Talking about the finish, there's a whole row of mattes and there's a whole row of shimmers. I tend to like the mattes more, but the shimmers are also great, creating that more of a dimension, I should say, within the eye like look you're creating. So like within my inner crease, I will use the shimmer there, and I really like the effect that it creates. And the shimmers are not glittery, it's literally a shimmer. Now talking about texture, I know I mentioned within the application part that it's really easy to blend, and because the texture of these eyeshadows are so smooth and creamy, it just really blends well. So I really enjoyed the texture of these eyeshadows. And I mean, I feel like these are available. Every time I've walked into Ulta, I see it available there. I don't know if it's hard to get your hands on it in other parts of the country or world for that matter, but I feel like these are readily available anywhere in the States. You can order them online at ulta.com, or you can pop into Ulta and find it there. And I have to tell you, this was the first palette I bought, and then like 2 days later I had to go out and get my hands on the first Lorac Pro palette just because I'm obsessed with this eyeshadow formula. So now let's get into the tutorial part of this and I'll show you how I achieved this eye look. Alright, so it's time for my close-up. What I plan to do is a subtle, everyday kind of look, but to create some depth and have some dimension to the crease area using these colors. Oh, they're so beautiful. I am just in love with this palette right now. And I don't have anything in particular in mind, but I just thought I would take you on this journey as I pick out the colors. So first step is to do an eye primer. If you hear some noise in the background, that's my little emu on his scratch pad, getting his scratch on for the day. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this Benefit eyeshadow primer. It's the Stay Don't Stray in the little tiny, sorry that was quick, a little tiny deluxe sample of that. And I'm just going to pat that in all over my lid and kind of take it down into the corners, and whatever is excess, bring that down underneath the eye. And I'm going to do that again on the other side. So next I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk brush. It's the number 116. And what I've actually been really loving is this Nectar color here in this palette. It's a peachy nude, tapping off the excess. And just going to get that all over the lid. And what I really like about this crease brush is that it's very dense. It's densely packed, and so it really picks up a lot of the pigment, and I like just the way it just blends and is applied. Just work it up a little bit above the crease. Same on the other side, just take it a little bit above the crease. So now that I've got Nectar all over my lids, I'm going to go ahead and do the highlight next. Sometimes I like to do the highlight as a second step so that I just feel like I can blend it a little bit better. So I'm going in and I'm taking Buff, tapping off the excess. Okay, so I'm taking Buff and I'm just putting that right under the arch. That's so annoying right now how the screen keeps darkening. Bear with me, please. Oh gosh. Okay. And it's so subtle, I'm sure you can hardly tell on camera, but for an everyday eye look, I really like the way it turns out. This is my first Lorac palette, and I just really love the way the eyeshadows are so blendable and so, I guess, creamy, but in a powdery way. It really blends well. Okay, so now that I've got the lighter colors done, what I'm gonna do next is pick a color for, should I do the crease or should I do the eyelid first? I'm going to do, I'm going to define the crease first, and I'm going to use Cool Gray. And just start underneath the crease. And use circular motions to add dimension. Kind of blend it out. And then I'm going to use windshield wiper motions to kind of add more depth and carve out some more depth into my crease here on the inner corner. And then take it out to the outer corner. How's that looking? Oh, that's so pretty. Can you see that? That Cool Gray is an awesome color. I love it. Even though this palette has cool shades, it really actually is great for, like I have like golden undertones, and I can still make it work and not have to try that hard. I actually really love these colors, and normally I would steer away from a cool tone palette. How pretty is just that Cool Gray, and the way it just adds dimension into the crease. It's just, I love it. I think what I'll do is play around with a little bit of this light brown color right here. So I'm using that, that light brown in between the highlight and the crease color to just kind of have a little bit more of a transition there. How's that looking? It's very, very subtle. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go back in with the highlighter color, and I'm gonna use more of a flat top, or flat, I don't know what to call it, like a flat-sided brush. and take that buff color again and tap it just right under the eyebrow. Now, you know what, I'm gonna go in with some of this shimmer. I'm gonna go in with this beige color down here. And, let's see, place it right there. Just give a little bit of shimmer right there. So I'm just going to take that down a little bit more into the inner corners. And that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to breeze on right through with the eyeliner and all that stuff. Now I'm going to step away for a sec, do my concealer, fix my hair, and I will be back. So here's my finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful and informative if you're thinking about picking up any of the Lorac products. And yeah, that's about it. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay up to date with me on a daily basis if you want to continue talking outside of YouTube. And also, if you have any questions or comments or anything, just leave them in the comments below and we can chat there. Alright, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!